Hello and welcome to another episode of Tipsy Gossip. I am Ras Mixx. I'm here with Marcy Diamond and Kinshok. This is the podcast where just a couple of friends just talking about trending topics and gossip and all that good stuff. Marcy, how are you tonight? Kinshok, how are you tonight?
Okay.
Okay.
All
Anything
right.
anything happening? Anything going on?
Not much. Just a lot of juicy gossip.
And if you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you subscribe and share it. If you're watching us on Twitter, I see a lot of people on Twitter. Make sure you tap the screen, get those hearts pumping on the screen right now. Do it right now, right now. Comment, let us know where you're watching from. If you're listening on the SoundCloud with just the audio, Spotify, all that good stuff. Make sure you share it and repost and let everybody know to listen to this podcast. Woo! Did you know? Excuse me. Did you know that our biggest audience on SoundCloud is from Madison, Wisconsin, the city that I'm
Really?
in? Yeah. I did
Wow.
not know that. So thank you to all the Madison listeners. I shouldn't have downed that beer like that. I'm gassy.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. But it was good.
Yeah, it was no, I wouldn't say that, but speaking of full of gas, Candace Owens. We talked about her a couple weeks ago. Now she's on a full rebrand after getting fired. My
Oh
camera's
boy.
crooked. What are your thoughts? Can she do it? Can she pull it off?
What is she trying to rebrand? Because she's very opinionated. So is she changing all of her opinions? Or what does rebrand? Means that she's no longer Republican? What does that mean? That's
I
what I'm
don't.
wondering.
She's been trying to reach out to the black audience.
Come on now.
She was on the Joe Budden podcast, and then she was on the Breakfast Club with Charlamagne the God and DJ Envy. It seems that she's trying to come back.
What did they hammer her on the Breakfast Club? I didn't see that.
You know they don't hammer nobody on the Breakfast Club. Softball questions, they didn't really question her about it. I even matter of fact, I didn't even listen to Envy. I don't even listen to Breakfast Club anymore, but I just know she was on there.
I don't either.
Like that they yeah. I don't listen to them.
Well, shit.
Kinshok, what do let's hear your thoughts again on Candace Owens. Kinshok.
Yeah, I've got technical issues, but anyway, you know my opinion on her. I can't stand her. And her trying to rebrand herself, that just shows what a phony she is. If you say this for these people for money or say that for these people for money, that means you don't really have an opinion on anything. You just bought and paid for.
But isn't that most of the people in politics bought and paid for?
I didn't say that wasn't true, but you asked me about her.
Okay, let's get into it. Let's say she comes out and she, denounces all things she did in the past, the George Floyd documentary, the talks of the saying Juneteenth isn't real, all that type of stuff. Do you think it's possible? You know what she could do though? If she's to come out and start talking about Jesus, I love Jesus, they'll love her in a heartbeat. Because that religious crowd, they once you say speak of Jesus, they're all your friends now.
Yep. If you hear snorting, it's these bulldogs I got. I'm sorry.
You got more dogs?
Yep, I got 2 bulldogs.
Let's see.
God.
Let's show them real quick. Can we see them?
Yeah, let me show you.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
That's all they're doing, snorting and playing right now.
They're so cute.
I love them. I got one, the brown, mostly all brown one, because she was in a cage all day long. The owner just said she was for breeding. She's like, oh, guess what? She's going into heat soon. And she's 8 years old, the poor thing. And I was like, that's not why I want her. I just want her to have her so she doesn't have to keep having babies. So I got her fixed already. And then the other one's 3, and I'm getting her fixed May 2nd. I'm not trying to have them have babies. I'm going to let them outside really quick. Hold on.
What's up, Rex? How you doing?
Fine.
Kinshok. So there's nothing about you that can just lighten your heart towards Candace Owens.
The best thing Candace Owens could do for me is move to another country and pollute their politics. I really don't. And poor Jesus, he has to be sitting in heaven going,
why are you putting me in the middle?
What happened? Because, the orange Cheeto is selling Bibles now. And so, no, if she says Jesus, it's just going to cause him to cry.
I'm conflicted about her. The George Floyd documentary is something that that should never be made, never even thought about. The fact that she put money into that and produced that is ridiculous.
I don't know a thing about that. I'm embarrassed. What happened?
I mean, don't be, because she made a documentary saying that George Floyd died of a fentanyl overdose, and it wasn't because the cop on his neck.
That's ballsy.
Very ballsy. And you know what type of crowd she was going to when she made that. It's like, I don't know. I don't know if there's any coming back from that.
Did she say she's rebranding?
She hasn't said she's rebranding. It's just that she's been appearing in,
is she still saying dumb shit though?
I would say yeah.
Yeah. Then I don't know about her rebrand. I don't know how that's going. Then I don't think it's going too good.
But some people will fall for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and who's ever willing to pay for it, that's where she'll go.
So so if Biden start paying her, you think she'll go? Biden, Kamala, one of them start paying her, you think she'd be down for it?
Remember, she has Democratic roots. She was with the ACLU and had all these people, she was all the way on the left. Then the right started paying more money and she just floated right on over there. So, yeah, if they started paying, she probably would float right back. I don't know how she'd pull it off, but because she has said some incredibly offensive and stupid things.
Yep.
But people, do you think everybody knows what she said or remembers? People got very short memories nowadays.
It's not even short memories. It's they stay in their little echo chambers. They stay in the places where people are saying the things they want to hear. So the people that don't know what she said, why are you mad at Candace Owens? And then you whip out a couple YouTube videos and they go, oh, okay. But if they're not exposed to that, then they won't know. And people stay where they're comfortable. They stay where it's safe and they hear what they want to hear. And, everybody's on the same page.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of people who probably upset with her probably don't even know why they upset with her.
No, I think the people that are truly upset with her know exactly why.
I'm pretty sure, the people who are truly up, but I'm pretty sure there's people, I don't like her. Okay, why you don't like her? Just like people say, there's always people out there who just follow the crowd, who don't blindly follow the crowd, who don't know why they don't like somebody.
Yeah.
If I don't like somebody, I can tell you plenty of reasons why I don't like them. I can give you a list. We can sit down and talk about it. But a lot of people out there just, follow the crowd. We don't like Candace Owens. Okay, I don't like her either. I don't know who she is, but I don't like her.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's because they're too lazy to actually do their own research or pay attention to what's going on around them. And that's become very prevalent in this country over the last, 30 years. People just, oh, well, Jim Bob said that, we don't like this person. So we don't like this person. No offense to anybody named Jim Bob.
Shout out to Jim Bob. Where are you listening from? Most likely down south or way up north.
Right. Sorry, Jim Bob.
I don't know. It's frustrating because she makes sense sometimes, but it's the same as saying like a broke clock is right 2 times a day type of thing.
True.
She'll say something like, you know what, that makes sense. I understand that. But then you go back to think like, wait a minute, she did say Juneteenth wasn't real.
Right. You have to go back to her motivation for why she said what she said. when she says something that makes sense, I have to go back and I have to backtrack. Why did she say that? Where's the money in her saying that? How does that benefit her? Because she doesn't care about anybody else but her.
Well, wouldn't it make sense? I mean, to go for all the money then, if you're her? The right is starting to turn on her, so might as well go to the left and see what she can hustle up
and
there.
I think that's what I think she's trying to do by what you're calling rebranding. I think that they have used all they can of her. They've squeezed every bit of support we can get, and now they're just tossing her away, and she's got to find somewhere to land.
Yep.
And there's always going to be somebody's always going to give her an outlet, though. That's the thing about it. The
Ben
Breakfast
Shapiro
Club,
owned that show. What was it called? And she was on it. Daily something.
Daily Wire, or something like that.
Yeah, and then it's crazy she could fuck that up because they're about as right as you can get. That was funny.
I don't know that they're necessarily right. They just say inflammatory things to me. Whatever will incite people to be upset.
Hey,
That's what they want to do. And I think she just wasn't upsetting people no more.
Yeah. True.
What's up, Rod? How you doing?
Hey, Rod.
If you're watching, have any questions or comments, go ahead and shoot them to us. We'll answer everything online live. So get those questions to us. I don't know. I just don't see where she can go with this. I mean, she's trying. Some people are buying it. Welcome to Marcy Diamond on YouTube Live. Hello, Ras, Kinshok, Marcy. Thanks, Alex. How you doing?
Hello,
like I said, if you listen to us on the audio only, make sure you check out the YouTube channels because we're showing live. You can see Marcy's dogs and everything. Make sure you come on and check us out.
Well, she could go to the extreme far left because they're just as crazy as the extreme far right.
And that's what I think she's going for. She can do it.
Well, if she wants to go over there, she can go over there because anybody with any sense ain't going over there either.
I mean, it don't take much. Just say Trump bad. Yeah, we got you. We love you. You know what I'm saying? It don't take much to win the extreme people over.
Right.
Exactly. Right. Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
But are they paying as much as the right? I don't think so.
They got as much money.
Oh, shit. Then go for it. Get the money.
If she got a good negotiator or she isn't a good negotiator, she can get the money because it's over there.
She's not dumb. I mean, she's has a little bit of intelligence to her.
And that's the saddest part of this is I actually have to give her credit for being slightly intelligent. She's not stupid. She's not dumb. Which makes it more offensive that she doesn't believe half of the things she says. Because she can articulate it in a way that sounds intelligent, even when you know it's crap.
She's a wordsmith, right? I think so.
But how come nobody's calling her out? I mean, if y'all have her on the interview, we had to ask her, like, what made you make that documentary? Because I keep going back to that. What made you make that? What in your mindset that was a good idea to make?
I think
it wasn't her money.
Conspiracy theorists about I think she thinks there's a conspiracy about everything instead of no, it really happened. George Floyd really died because they murdered him. No, it was not a conspiracy. It wasn't some bullshit of fentanyl or whatever she's calling it, or a heart attack or whatever a lot of people like to say. He really died because he got murdered. So
there's conspiracy theory about everything.
I swear to God there is. It drives me crazy.
It makes no sense because I've seen that somebody said that the recent bridge that collapsed.
Yeah, I saw that too.
It was the Freemasons that had something to do with it, which just makes me laugh because, like, what exactly?
I didn't hear that one.
Like, they just be reaching for anything because there was a cross on the boat that looked like the Knights Templar cross. I was like, it always goes back to Freemasons. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, they just reach so bad, and on social media is the worst.
Then they said the CEO got killed, backing her car up into a pond on her own property, and that she died 6 days before this happened. So there's some kind of conspiracy in that too.
But didn't the X or Twitter community say that was wrong and not true or something like that?
Really?
Yeah.
Good. Obviously, I think she was an heir to the shipping company, not the CEO. I have to look that up.
Like, people just don't understand. Shit just happens sometimes.
Yep,
Well,
exactly.
They said that the ship was in distress
It lost
and had
power.
lost power.
Yeah.
Right.
That did aliens do that? It was an accident.
Mm-hmm.
People just don't want to believe that bad shit just happens. They always think there's some ulterior motive, like, oh, this is just to hide the fact that this is just to keep us away from this knowledge. I'm like, no, a boat crashed and a bridge went down. It's sad. People died. You know,
And the
stop trying to make it
billions of
seem like it
dollars
was.
it's gonna cost to fix it.
Yep.
Yeah. And some people was worried about the Amazon packages. I'm like, dog, y'all just don't care.
I'm sorry, I was one of them people because I was like, I hope ain't no Cheetos. I was like, what products am I not gonna be able to get?
Lord.
But I did more for the people first.
Nah, but it was watching that. It was like scary because that went down fast, like crash.
Because the boat couldn't, the ship that was coming in couldn't navigate, so it had no ability to turn, no ability to slow down, and so it just plowed right into it. It hit it, and those ships weigh tons. Like each one of those crates probably weighed a ton. But yeah, I was one of those that was like, oh man, are they gonna be out of flaming hot Cheetos?
What I was telling people was like, if you have a fear of bridges, do not watch that video because it's going to confirm every fear that you have.
Yep, the bitch is just gonna go down.
Right, like it don't take much. I mean, it don't seem like much, but it was a lot, but it doesn't seem like much.
Yeah, it didn't seem like it seemed like it was just rickety and it just went. Not that it was steel being crushed by other steel. It didn't look like that at all.
Man.
No, it did. You're right, Marcy. It did look like some Legos just falling down because somebody kicked it. It did go down pretty fast.
That was wild.
But that's weird. I have a fear of bridges, but I think my fear of bridges is a fear of heights.
Me too.
I'm not actually afraid that the bridge is going to collapse. I'm just afraid of being up in the air.
Heights, yep.
That's why you gotta go 80 over bridges.
Get over it quick.
I just close my eyes and pray.
Oh, and are you driving when you're closing your eyes?
No.
Probably.
Never.
Jesus, take the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
There's even a footbridge like not too far from my house that if I have to cross it, I have to have somebody with me to cross it. Otherwise, I can't do it.
Wow, that's a real fear of heights. I know what bridge you're talking about, and that is not.
It's a nothing bridge.
Yeah, it's a nothing bridge.
My ex was telling me one time, he was like, oh my God, I went over the bridge and the water was all rised up because of the rain and the car was moving back and forth. And I was like, oh my God, don't tell me that. I didn't want to go over the bridge after that. Because it wasn't that high over the water, the bridge. And then it rained. And so when the rain was over the bridge, he was going back and forth, afraid he was going to fall in. But there was a smaller rail there. It's not that high, but bridges do freak me out, and ladders. So
ladders.
Well, if you ever have to go cross country, don't go by train, because leaving Wisconsin, you have to cross the Mississippi River going west.
Oh.
And that is on a standalone bridge, like built into the river. And it shakes with a train going across it.
Mm.
It was terrifying.
Really?
That would freak me out.
It was terrifying.
I mean, when you go into Iowa from Wisconsin, you have to cross over the bridge to cross over the Mississippi River. It's a huge bridge. I like crossing it because I like the the feel of it, but it's a huge bridge. So, what is the conspiracy theory that you believe in, that you always believed in?
Okay, 9/11. If you look at the video of the plane supposedly crashing in the Pentagon, it's just there's no plane there. I mean, I've watched it a gazillion times.
I fell in that wormhole a few times. So that one scene right there is a lot of videos about. Kinshok, yep. What's your conspiracy theory?
I'm probably gonna catch it for this one, but I believe that Jesus has already come back.
Right?
Okay. Wow. Let's hear this.
I want to hear that.
It has to do with the movie The Omen.
Mm-hmm.
Because I also believe that the Antichrist has come back. And I think that is why we are seeing such an escalation in wars, violence. Because if you read Revelations, it tells you there will be wars and rumors of wars and all this. And I believe that they both walk the earth, and that there is about to be the revelation, and there's about to be they're here to gather as many souls as possible, because I think that
has there been more escalation of violence and wars, or do we just hear about it more because we have more access to hear about it?
No, I feel like there's been an escalation, because it feels like people are attacking people for no reason, that they have no reason to be where they are attacking people.
Okay, but think about this. In the 80s, we thought life was good, but it was still violent as hell in the 80s. You just didn't hear about it. The 80s was violent.
About it. You heard what they wanted you to hear about it.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Because we were the ones doing the sneaky, underhanded stuff that, they didn't want the American people to know. But if you read international news, which my father did, you would know that all these little skirmishes have been going on all the time. But I believe they've escalated. And I believe it's because each side, Jesus and Lucifer, are trying to gather as many souls as they can to their side before the rapture happens. Marcy, I'm not crazy. I swear I'm not crazy. I took my pills today.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but it's like people have been live their whole lives saying the rapture's coming, the rapture's coming. They lived to 80 years old and died and still was saying the rapture's coming, nothing happened.
Okay, then let me explain what I think the rapture means to me.
Okay.
Because I think it happens differently for different people. I think that people that die suddenly, that's a rapture for them. They needed to be removed from the timeline at that particular time, even if we thought it was too early. I think they needed to be removed from the timeline at that time in order for other events to cascade and affect the big rapture, So, like, there's like 35-year-olds that we go, there's no reason why this person died. And I think that person had to be removed because in order for the rest of the cascade to happen correctly, or the way that it needs to, that person had to be removed. But then we got people that live to be 114 years old. They may be passing on knowledge that's needed by somebody else when the big rapture happens, so that they know what to do, and which way to go.
Nah, I'm not trying to disagree with you. I'm just saying, though, isn't that what we just said, though, that people try to make a reason for things happening? Like,
you asked me about a conspiracy theory. I gave you mine.
I'm just playing devil's advocate. Like, we just said that people can't, like, your friend died when he was 24. It's hard to accept that your friend's gone. So you try to make some reason like, you know what, this is just God's way of doing the rapture and helping us, No,
I'm not talking about just, I'm sorry. this is going to sound so bad, a random 24-year-old just being plucked out of the timeline. But like, okay, let's say, who's the guy who played Black Panther? Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah.
I feel he was plucked from the timeline for a reason. Because he wasn't that old. He worked through all of his pain because he had a very serious cancer and he worked all the way through it. And I never even knew he was sick.
Nobody knew except for people close to him.
Yep.
So I think somebody like that who was a talent, a good person, influential in the community, I think he was pulled from the timeline for a reason. There's something that he was going to affect if he continued to live that would affect something else.
That makes sense.
So
Ray says we're living in the end time, and this is coming from a man who lives in the Bible Belt. Go ahead.
I'm not sure about end times, but I think they're getting close. I agree. I think they're getting close. But see, end times in the mind of Jesus and God could be 1,000 years. We don't know. But I do feel like things are spiraling faster. I feel like I lived through the 80s. I was there when the guys was walking around with the sandwich boards on. The end is there with the bells. I saw them. They was out there. But this feels different to me. I'm actually afraid at this point. And I'm not afraid just for me or my family. I'm afraid for humans in general. I feel like we're on the brink of something catastrophic happening, and I don't know what to do about it. I really can't affect it. But
I don't know. The one conspiracy I always believed in was aliens, and I've been proven right. So
yeah,
I feel good about that.
Where were you proven right?
The government saying that they finding these UFOs and they don't know, they can't explain it.
Oh, okay.
So I've always felt like there's been, because if you ever went, like I went camping up north in Wisconsin where there's nothing, and you look up at the sky and you see like stuff just flying over. It's like, those all can't be satellites. Those all can't be falling stars. Like for the whole night, I'm just sitting here watching like, phew, phew, phew. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Does nobody talk about this? Am I only person seeing this? And like we're sitting there and one came, it got real bright, then went back down and just flew away. I was like, okay.
That would freak me out, man.
That's not a plane. There's no airport near here. It's aliens. It's plain and simple aliens.
I agree. I've seen something like that too. So
have you guys been on a cruise before?
Yeah, I'm going on one this year.
Because Norwegian, I just read this article today and I happened to be pissed off when I read it. They left 8 people on a small island in Africa because they weren't back at the boat by 3:00. And they were 7 of them were on a tour with a tour guide on the island. And the tour guide said he called the boat, was calling them on the hotline, told the captain, look, we're coming. They could see the friggin' boat. They could see it. And they wouldn't let them on because it was past the time. And then the 8th person got a concussion. So that's why they were late. They got concussed somehow, fell down, did something. And I'm thinking, you know what? One of the ladies said, she said, I feel like they're in the hospitality business and they have an obligation when you're spending thousands to accommodate you. And I don't blame her. I'm thinking 10 minutes is all you had to wait, but you couldn't do it. 10 minutes. So they had to spend $5,000, go for 48 hours to a couple different countries to get back on. They said 9 different countries to get back to port to meet them to get on the fucking thing. I'd be pissed if I had to spend $5,000 to get back when you couldn't wait and you were told ahead of time that I was going to be there.
Listen, I understand what you're saying, but they have to accommodate everybody. They have a tight schedule, and they tell you that boat's leaving at 3. That boat's leaving at 3.
I've never been on a cruise. I don't want to go on one now.
But wasn't that their tour guide, or was it The
It's like
islands toured up.
see that's why when you on these cruises, you can't do stuff like that. You can't go and have an adventure like that. Stay close to the boat because you know what time it's leaving and it's not gonna wait for you.
I wouldn't even get off if it's like that. Fuck it, I would get off.
No, I mean you can get off and go see some of the island, but going on a tour. And if it's a small island, they probably told them, all right, you guys got 3 hours.
Sheesh.
You know, you got 3 hours and we're leaving. And they probably was like, well, we're just going to go on this tour. It's 2 hours and 45 minutes. That's plenty of time to get back. No, it's not. Because anything can happen. And they got concussed. And now look at their ass. They stuck.
Yep.
Now, I don't see how they had to pay. Some should be worked out where they can get back on the boat, some different port. But
because they said
they have to meet them at another port.
Right, they have to meet them at another port. But
your responsibility, they said, to find the transportation to fly wherever you got to fly. So they went to Ghana, and then they couldn't get back on in Ghana because the waves and the sea was too rough. So they couldn't get back into Ghana. So then they had to fly to Cape Verde, or however you say that. And then they weren't able. I think they were able to get on there. But it took them 48 hours to be able to get back on the boat. I would be pissed. I would be.
Listen, if I'm spending $5,000, take me back home.
Right.
Just take me home.
I agree.
Because my trip's ruined.
Some other people didn't have their cards with them, and they were in the room on the boat. No cards, no nothing. I mean, God damn.
Listen, that's when you take a cruise. They tell you be back in 2 hours, be back in an hour. Don't play with it because start working your way back early because anything can happen out there.
Yep. I just don't see why they're so regimented. Got to be 3 o'clock. 3.
Because if they don't, okay, somebody's coming late. Okay, we're gonna wait 10 minutes for this person. Then like, they'll wait for people entitled. They'll wait for me. I'm such and such. Every cruise will be late because somebody was out doing some bullshit and didn't get back on time and the boat waited for them. Like, nah, we leave at 3. We leaving at 2:59. That's what time we leave. We out of here.
I guess I didn't think of that.
Because it takes a lot to get that boat going. Them big ass boats. It takes a lot to get them started and get the motor going and close up all the ports and everything. So they got to be on time.
Have you ever been left or almost left?
Nope, because I made it back to that boat early because I wasn't not playing around.
Do you really get off the boat and go look around and shit?
Yeah, you have to. I mean,
that's the whole point, I think.
Yeah, that's the point.
Where'd you go?
We went to Mexico and Jamaica.
Holy shit, Mexico. That's wild.
And we was having to buy tequila for $1. We had a ball.
I'd be afraid to go to Mexico now because they're saying that sorry. They're saying that now the gangs are, once the resorts used to be off limits, now they're shooting up resorts and killing people. I'd just be so afraid to go to Mexico now.
Well, this was the 90s, so it was not as dangerous.
True. It used to be off limits. Now, if now people are running to resorts, they thought to get, cling to safety. And then those motherfuckers are saying, fuck that shit. We'll shoot you wherever you run to. So.
I kind of secretly enjoy that because lots of rich people do that. Oh, it's too violent here. I'm going to go there. And now they're not. It's not that I don't want people to be safe, but I don't mind them getting robbed.
So you want rich people to get robbed? So what if you get rich? You okay with getting robbed?
I've been robbed and I'm broke. So yeah.
Well, shit.
I don't think anybody should get robbed though. I mean, I'm just saying.
I don't think anybody should get robbed, but if they're gonna hit resorts, I don't mind that it's not even that I hate. Okay, it's not rich people. It's entitled people. People that feel like they can just throw money at a problem. And here, waiter, here's $20. Go get me some water or something like those.
Go to the store and get me Heinz 57 because that's what I like, and you guys don't carry it.
Yeah, that level of entitlement. Those people, I don't mind if they get ripped off. I really don't. because I think they need a shock back into reality as to, other people are people. Because not all rich people act that way.
Right.
And not all poor people are nice.
I know this for sure. That's why I got a job where I don't deal with the general public. Leave me alone.
I stay in my house as much as I can.
Oh boy, so I don't know. I'd say that's why I just, if you get left by the boat on a cruise, I don't feel sorry for you. You knew what time you had to be back. You want to be adventurous and go on a tour.
But see, what I didn't understand from the article I read, I thought the tour was arranged by the cruise, but it was arranged by the island. I couldn't decipher that from what I had read. So I was like, how you going to leave your own people? But if it was arranged by the island, then you shouldn't have went. You shouldn't have went on that tour, or you should have found a way to get back. What I'm picturing in my head is Jurassic Park, where they're like going through the jungle with the jeeps, trying to get away. So what the article I read, I thought it was arranged by the cruise.
Them cruises don't mess around. They say 3:00. They mean 2:59. Have your ass on that boat because we getting up out of here.
2:45. If they say they're leaving at 3:00, be back by 2:45.
2:30. I mean, the earlier the better. Earlier the better. Don't mess around. You don't want to, because you're going, like the people spending $5,000 to get back on the boat. And I would have got back on that boat with an attitude. Fuck all y'all.
I wouldn't have got. I'm with you. If $5,000, take me home.
Take me home. I'll get my luggage later.
Okay, you can ship it to me. You can throw it in the ocean. I don't care, because if I'm packing on vacation, oh wait a minute, my laptop might be in there.
No, I'm not taking my laptop on vacation.
On a cruise, I might not, but if I'm just going to another hotel or something like that, when I go to California, I have a dilemma. Can you help me with it?
Let's hear it.
BlizzCon this year is going to be November 1st and 2nd, which means I have to leave on Halloween. Do I do Halloween a day early? Or do I do Halloween in California?
Do Halloween in California. You're going to BlizzCon, so you'll fit right in. Boom, problem solved.
Dude, I'm usually something dark like a vampire or something like that. Those aren't in the game.
But just like they're going to tell you, stop, you're not matching the game.
Sure, they wouldn't. I could be a Murloc. Okay, thank you. You just solved my problem. Gotta order my Murloc suit tonight.
Oh boy, so let's wait. We're not gonna get to the next topic until Marcy comes back. So Marcy stepped away for a second. I don't know. I just can't. I can't feel sorry for people in that situation.
No, and I can't feel sorry for people in that situation for another reason. I hate to be late. And I hate it when people, if you tell me you're going to be at my house at 1:00 and you show up at 1:15, I am heated. I'm pissed because I have planned I'm taking my son to Medieval Times for his birthday. We have to be there by 3:00, which means he has to pick me up at noon. If he gets here by 12:15, I'm going to be mad the whole ride. Because I
wait, which one are you going to? It's not that far away.
No, it's not that far away, but okay, he has to go to Milton, from Janesville to Milton to pick up his daughter, then from Milton to Madison to pick me up, and then from Madison to Schaumburg. Pick me up at noon. Please.
You're gonna be make sure you're not missing a thing. Anything can happen. Okay.
Right. Because I got the whole package for him. He's gonna get knighted and all this. And when I told him that, he was like, "Oh, that's for kids." I was like, "You my kid?" He was like, "Oh, it's on." So I fully expect my son to show up either in his Deadpool costume or dressed as a baby.
Wow.
And I am all in. I am all in. I got a shawl. I got a granny wig. I got some wire rim glasses. If he shows up here and he's acting a fool, I'm going to show up there. Well, Granny thought that you would like it. I'm going to show up too.
So y'all's going to be acting a fool at this place.
The show is not going to be medieval times.
I wouldn't expect anything different. I don't know why I even.
Welcome back.
So let's get into the main story. Diddy. Diddy. Dumb Diddy. Got his house raided. He had the kids escorted out by gunpoint while he wasn't even there. Did you see the clips?
Yep. Sure did. Saw those kids in handcuffs outside the house, standing in the driveway or whatever.
And you talk about conspiracy theories. Oh my God. People have been running wild with the Diddy conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
And people have been playing these old clips about this is Diddy after the house got raided. I'm like, okay, where is Diddy for real? Because I'm seeing all these clips like he's in Miami, he's just walking around careless, like nothing bothers him. I'm like, what's really going on?
What makes people think nothing bothers them? Like that kills me when people say shit like that. I'm sure he's extremely upset because his whole world's falling down.
If he's been doing the things they say he's been doing, it was just a matter of time. You can't do crazy shit. You know, Suge Knight, he was doing all that crazy shit. It's going to come back on you eventually.
Yeah.
If you're in power and you just doing whatever the hell you want and not worried about the law or anything, it's going to come back to you.
Yeah.
And especially, I don't know what it is about this year, but it seems like everybody's coming out, you know, to talk about it.
Yeah, everybody wants to do in everybody. Now, did you see where 50 Cent, Daphne Joy said she was SA'd by him, by 50 Cent? And I was like, dang, because he was poking fun at Diddy. So she's like, oh, really? So you want to talk about him? Well, you SA'd me. So
yeah, I saw that. And I don't know. No, they stopped talking about that. That story went away quick. So
yeah, now all of a sudden he wants custody of their kid because she said that. They're saying.
Well, they said that the mother of his kids was with Diddy and was a sex trafficker or something. And so now he's like, oh, I'm finna get my kid because you wilding.
Yep. Supposedly she was the SW worker.
SWV.
Worker. Yep.
Sister with voices.
Right? He was a worker, a certain kind of worker.
Kinshok, what are your thoughts on Diddy? House getting raided?
I don't really have any because I'm not even sure what happened because I just didn't even want to get into the story because I'm just like, okay, if you did it, you did it. Just say you did it and take your consequences because I'm really kind of sick of it now.
Mm-hmm.
It's like all these men in power just abused it.
That's why some people can't have power. They don't know how to act with it. They just go crazy.
But on the opposite side of that coin, it's girls that's just flinging their stuff at them every day. So it's like they can't tell the ones that do and the ones that don't. But I think the word no makes it very explicit that I'm not one of the ones that will. And I think they heard the word no a lot and just ignored it.
Was he charged for assault or was he just charged for just trafficking and having wild parties and taking people across state lines for the purpose of sex? That's what the trafficking is.
I don't know.
Because they say he had these freak off parties and it seemed like pretty much everybody was with it.
Wow.
Then my question is, if you get that invitation in the mail and you don't want to be bothered with it, why don't you just throw it in the trash and go get you some ice cream and watch, Murder, She Wrote? Sorry, I'm dating myself with that one, but
yeah, really.
I mean, but I could see in the late 90s, early 2000s, You get invited to a Diddy party, you're going.
No, I wouldn't.
Back in that day, you wouldn't go?
Nope.
Man, I would have been all up in there.
But you're in a different situation than I am. You're a male, I'm a female.
So you wouldn't
Who
go
knew
to
in the 90s, though? Who knew that was happening in the 90s? You know what I mean?
I always knew there was some freaky shit going on at these parties. It's always been talked about these parties where they had the different rooms where different stuff going on and that type of thing. Diddy just need to come on and be like, look, I'm bisexual. And that would drop a bunch of his charges. Because everybody has a Diddy story now. I seen Diddy with a bunch of dudes. I seen Diddy at a gay party. You know, just come out and admit it. Just come out and admit it. Like, look, I'm bisexual. I like men. That's why I was that's why I was at these certain parties.
Yeah, it's like, who cares if you like men? Who cares? Just say it. No big deal.
Was in the 90s.
True.
Yeah,
True.
but we long past those days. So this is, I mean, look.
But who shows up to these parties? Okay, you show up to, I'm invited to a Diddy party. You've heard the stories about what happened. So if you're not somebody that's experienced or somebody that's willing to do the things that you've heard about happening, why would you go?
Because it's just rumors. You be like, these rumors can't be true. I'm just gonna go party, have a good time, and
nah. If I hear rumors that people get shot outside your house, I'm not coming to visit you.
Well, if you hear rumors that the women are giving head in the back room, I mean, the guy's gonna go. I don't believe it, but I just want to see if it's true or not.
Right.
And the women who go are the ones who want to get with the rappers and want to get with the athletes, and that's that crowd.
Exactly. So
it's funny because there's been so many parties like that I've been invited to in situations. I've never gone. I've never gone to one of them because I don't want to be around that shit. So I don't go.
I can't say the same, but I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Because you're looking at it from a different angle, which is fine because you are a male.
Right.
But as a female, if you know that the women are doing these types of things,
and that you're going to be expected to do it if you're a woman.
Thank you.
No,
if you don't want to do it, don't go.
It's not always expected. Well,
okay. So you think
okay. I'm gonna say this without telling them. Okay, it's not expected.
Bullshit.
But
I agree.
At these parties, you know that's who gets down and who doesn't. Everybody's having a good time. And like, oh, such and such walked in.
If you're a female at one of these parties, unless you're an A-list celebrity, then you're probably not expected to. But if I get invited to one of these, I'm expected to fuck. Well, and that's why I don't go to these things. And I don't have a bunch of celebrity friends. I don't have them on purpose because I don't want to be in that world. I just do my little shit I do online, my porn, and then I have a regular life. I don't continue that life on into like trying to be Hollywood and trying to be, you know what I mean? So
what she's saying is that she's been invited to a Diddy party and didn't go.
Not a Diddy party, nope. Other parties.
We'll talk about it after the show. I don't know. I mean, okay, I'm looking from the aspect of playing college football. The football team will have these parties. And some women love football players. And so they would come and that's what they wanted to get with the football team. It wasn't expected. At least in my group, we didn't try to force nobody to do anything. You didn't have to. We didn't have to force them.
But excuse me, as the nerdy friend who got attempted to be drugged along to these parties, I was like, I don't be bothered with that because I know what y'all do in them rooms that's off to the side. And if somebody put their hands on me, it's going to be a fight. So I just wouldn't go because I know what happens at those kind of parties.
You can go. You don't have to go to the back room. That's what I'm saying. You just stay in the main area.
No, but then you got to cover your drink with a napkin and walk around.
No, wait, stop.
And be scared.
Stop. We were not drugging women at these parties.
Okay, maybe the parties you went to, but I went to school downtown, so
You're a good guy too. So you never know. You're a good guy. You wouldn't do that to someone.
Listen, if I knew that they were drugging women at a party I was at, I would never go back. You know, it was more like because I don't know, we were college kids having fun. You know, nowadays they'll try to label us as something else, but we're just young and dumb.
no, I see it from your point of view that there are girls that it's like women who chase cops or firefighters.
Right.
You know, they will, you know, they'll show up at the station or show up at the station house or whatever. I brought you guys some muffins, you know, because they trying to flirt. And I agree that happens with athletes. But there are cretins that come to those parties that are not necessarily the same athletes, that don't necessarily have the same respect, and you don't necessarily know what they're doing.
And that's why we locked down the party. You on the team? We know who's on the team and who's not.
Oh, this is my friend Justin. He cool.
We don't let the old guy in who went to school 20 years ago. Nah, bro.
No, I get you, but you're gonna let Justin in. You're gonna let Justin, your buddy's friend, in. You know,
a lot of times they're like, we don't know him. He can't come in. We don't know him. We sorry.
Then y'all had a good house.
That's how.
But a lot of houses are not that discreet or not that locked down, and a lot of girls get hurt and assaulted in situations like that simply because they showed up.
Yeah, and that's why I don't go to no. I've had people ask me, "Will you dance at my party?" Nope. Will you come? And nope, not when I'm not going to be put around more than one male. There's no way. Just because I don't want anything to happen to me. And I hear horror stories, and I'm like, but y'all should have known. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to say, oh, you got SA'd on purpose. It's your fault. I'm not. But if you are around a bunch of rowdy men that are drinking and whooping it up, you could possibly be hurt. And that's why I wasn't willing ever to take that chance. And I still am not. I'm not ever doing that.
And please know, I'm not saying all men. You're a good guy.
I know.
And a lot of guys like you
right.
just wanted to have a good time. And it was some girls that wanted to show up and have a good time with you.
But it gets out of hand.
We've had parties like that as adults, but I'll leave it at that.
The creeps come in.
And guess who showed up? But okay, but listen, we're in a college town, right? There's a campus here. There's a lot of football parties that go on that nobody knows about except for them and the people invited. And that's how it should be. You don't have outsiders. You don't let the general public know about it. It's our party. If you're not on the list, we know who's who and who's not. You come to the door, we don't like, there's nothing going on here. Go somewhere else. And that's how it should be.
That's cool.
Because we don't want no outsiders coming in. If we found out that one of the football players is like that, you're not invited, bro. We're not trying to get the whole team charged with rape because you don't know how to keep your hands to yourself.
Right.
And that's how it should be.
So you don't sound like you ever had problems with your parties.
No, I never had problems with my parties.
That's cool.
When I was in Minnesota, I had the best parties. The best parties. And it wasn't no sex thing. It was just we had a good time. I knew who was invited. I knew who was coming in the door and who couldn't come in. Like, nah, you can't come in. I heard about you be smacking women. You're not invited. Go home. And that's how it was. And people go to these Diddy parties. A lot of celebrities, I go to the Diddy party, but I left early.
Yeah.
Because they know after a certain time.
Yep.
That's when the freaks come out. That's when the freaks come out.
After 11 o'clock is what I've heard. That's what I've heard.
I don't know. I'll probably stay just to see. Okay, let's see if this is real or not. And once I see like something that goes too far, I'm out of here.
Yep.
Yeah, but how tall are you?
I'm 6'4".
You got a lot more leverage over stuff happening to you than somebody say my size.
We're both 5'3". We can't.
Yeah, we might want to stay and see what happens, but then it starts happening to us. because we stayed, and that's not right or fair or whatever. We just wanted to see what happened.
But it was alleged that one of the security guards got, assaulted by, they kind of drugged him or something, they said, and he like woke up like he knew something happened to him. So I guess it was fair game at those parties. So no matter who you are, dog's having a good time over there.
Oh my God, I swear to God.
Those are your puppies?
They got a squeaky toy or something. They having a ball over there.
Look at her. Do you see her? Let me see if I can show you before we get off here real quick. And of course this thing doesn't want to come out of here. Now she quit. You booger. She's a puppy, so she's like really, that one's 8 years old. The one that's walking, but that one's 3. She's like not really a puppy, but she's still young.
She's a teenager. Watch out.
Right. Look out.
All right, so anything else you want to go over before we shut it down for night? Anything? All right, I am Ras Mixx. You can find me at Ras Mixx on all social medias. Make sure you check out my Facebook. I got some good things coming up, some events. I'm really getting into some hosts. I'm really starting a new business, so I'll talk about that more later. I want to get into it and spoil anything, but
Cool.
Got some good things going on. If you can find Marcy, hold on, let me put the thing out. Where's the banner? You can find Marcy at Twitter or X at Marcy Diamond 2. Why is it 2? Because it's her second Twitter. They banned the first one. Also find her TikTok at Marcy Diamond 1 and her website at pog.life. Kinshok, you can find her at Twitter at Kinshok29. Kinshok, are you using your Twitter?
Nope.
Everybody, go send a message to Kinshok on Twitter.
Nope.
Go at her about anything. Just at her about something random, and she enjoys that. I want to thank everybody for watching. We still got a decent crowd here. I thank everybody for watching. If you're watching on Twitter, hit the screen and get those pumps going, get those hearts going. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you share it with your friends and family. Share with your friends and family. Be good people. If you're listening to this on SoundCloud, Spotify, make sure you repost it, share it. Let people know us about it. Let us know. Check us out. Oh, boy. Thank y'all so much for all the support. We love y'all right back. Any last words? Love y'all. See y'all next time. See y'all next week.